Alright, welcome back everybody. Just wanted to, we'll do another video today. Today, I was going to try to stay away from politics and political stuff. However, one of these current events has came up in which I feel it has a lot to do with energy sector. So, I'm going to give you my take and what I think of this proposal by Miss Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, which I will call AOC throughout this interview or talk discussion because I'm not going to keep saying her name. It's the Green New Deal, her proposal to Congress. So, if you get online, you can see a lot of takes from Bloomberg, all the major news, Fox News, CNN, yada yada yada. All those guys have their takes on it. Their writers. But what I did is I actually kept looking around and I found the actual proposal that she and another representative, a Democratic representative, submitted or going to submit to Congress. Word of advice: don't work a 12-hour day, then read this. Just straight up off the bat. This is a lot of mumbo jumbo, bleh, just spitting out garbage almost. Um, Now, if you read other people's writings on this, they'll say she says she wants to get rid of all cows because of the greenhouse emissions from farmers. That's not true. That's not in here. Go back to trains and railways. That's not true. She speaks of high speed rails in this, sort of what you see in China and overseas, which is a new modern technology. Um, so there's several things that people are making a rushed judgment, if you will, in my opinion. For me, I just want to get to what they're saying now. So let's see. So basically, the New Deal, the Green New Deal, is this whole thing stems around greenhouse gases, emissions, blah 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 blah. One thing that's interesting, the first couple pages, it basically talks about what the U.S. is losing money wise, lands being burned, all of this stuff, right? And, and we have seen that in the news and whatnot. Now, here's my problem, where are all these facts backed up with? It's literally just stuff thrown like darts. You throw darts, it's like that, just thrown on a piece of paper. Like, I damn near think some of this is written with crayon. Like, what the hell? I mean, it just goes on and on, talks about climate change. Then we get on the spiel about how it goes into life expectancy declining, hourly wages overall stagnating since the 1970s. What does that have to do with greenhouse gases? I don't get it. I mean, it literally starts out talking like legitimate stuff, even though there's no facts to it. Then you get on this mumbo jumbo spiel of just randomness, and then here we go, the top 1% of earnings. The top 1% of earners accrue 91% of the gains in the first few years of economic recovery after the Great Recession. Well, no shit. A large racial wealth divide accounting to a difference of 20 times more wealthy between the average white family and the average black family. Here we go again. Sometimes I don't know what to say. I just, what it, despite what you think, what does that have to do with climate change? Anything? Nothing. A gender earnings gap that results in women earning approximately 80% less as much as men at the median. Again, what does that have to do with climate change? I read this article, and my whole goal was to pick out climate change or greenhouses and emissions, yada yada yada, bullcrap. this literally is thrown in here just to throw you off, to you get you fired up, right? No, you gotta wade through the crap. I mean, this is ridiculous. It has nothing to do with the environment, climate, anything. So then we get a little further down. Literally, I closed my eyes a few times, woke up, read a little, closed my eyes again. But so then we go through, and it says it's it's part of the United States responsibility. Clean air and water, climate and community resilience, healthy food, access to nature, and sustainable environment. Okay, cool. And then guess what bullet E is? To promote justice and equality by stopping current, preventing future, and repairs the historic oppression oppression of indigenous communities, communities of color, migrant communities, deindustrialized communities, depopulated rural communities, the poor, low income workers, women, the elderly, the unhoused, people with disabilities, and the youth, referred to in this resolution as the frontline and vulnerable communities. So that's our government's responsibility to take care of all that stuff. Granted, yes, I think the government should have some part in it because our tax dollars do go to that. However, I don't, and I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole. It's not worth it. Everybody can have their own opinion on that. We'll leave it at that. In other words, though, we're trying to sneak this stuff in. I mean, again, what does that? This the government has to provide for has nothing to do with climate change. So, the goal. Here's the part that I guess I really wanted to get to. It's the 10-year plan. So, in 10 years, we're apparently supposed to be 100% green, renewable energy. If you work oil and gas or you're in the industry, we're not a renewable energy. We are, once it's gone energy. So that's kind of a concern. I guess I'll go ahead and get to my point though. No, I don't honestly, I really don't see that happening. Oil and gas, petroleum products is what moves the world, right? So between driving automobiles, using machinery to build equipment or build buildings, it takes energy, it takes fuels to build your solar panels you want to put on your roof. And that takes power plants to run this, natural gas power plants, coal plants. That's where your electricity comes from, guys. I'm all for, I guess, wind and solar if it's practical, but how's it going to be practical? If the government's going to provide it, who's going to pay for it? The taxpayer. So, yeah, anyway. And then our plan basically spells out how we need to, let's see, infrastructure, blah, 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 blah. Meeting 100% of the power demand in the United States through clean, renewable, and zero-emission energy sources, including dramatically expanding and upgrading existing renewable power sources by deploying new capacities, building or upgrading to efficiencies, upgrading all existing buildings in the United States and building new buildings to achieve maximum energy efficiency, water efficiency, safety, affordability, comfort, durability, and through electrification. So you tell me you're going to bulldoze the whole United States and rebuild it in 10 years. That's hilarious. Really? Alright. Better get started. Jeez. Spurring massive growth and clean manufacturing in the United States, removing population and greenhouse emissions from manufacturing and industries as much as technologically feasible. including by expanding renewable energy manufacturing, investing in existing manufacturing, blah, 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 blah. We're not going to read that. And then they say they want to collaborate with farmers and ranchers. Okay, yeah, cool. High-speed rails, like I mentioned. Let's see. They talk about rebuilding some ecosystems, reducing pollution. That's cool. I'm in for that. I don't understand how you're going to restore and protect threatened, endangered, and fragile ecosystems through locally appropriating and science-based projects that is biodiversity and support climate resiliency. We're already doing that. It's called NEPA. Clean up existing hazardous waste. We already do that. Promote international exchange of technology. Yeah, right. Because everybody's going to want to spin out the wazoo to come up with some great idea that the United States thinks. That's hilarious. More mumbo jumbo. I'm trying to go quick. I don't want to make this video too long, but my eyes, I can't even follow this. It's wow. Oh, here we go. Okay, ensuring that Green New Deal mobilization creates high quality union jobs that pay prevailing wages, hire local workers, offer training, advancement opportunities, and guarantee wages and benefits for its workers, guaranteed a job with a family sustainable wage, adequate family and medical leave, paid vacations, retirement, and retirement securities to all the people of the United States. Here we go. This is a rabbit hole they want to take you on. What does that have to do with this Green Deal? You're trying to sell me on something, and I don't like it. Like, none of this article. I mean, it mentions working with farmers and the high speed rail. So that's sort of how we're gonna get there to do this proposal, but there's so much jargon thrown in here about wages, fair use, fair play, blah 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 blah. Like, you haven't presented me any logical how we're gonna get there. So I'm not gonna finish this. This is killing me. I'm gonna link this in the description if you want to read the whole thing to yourself, and it's 14 pages. It's a quick read. I mean, it's if you can read it, it's not bad. It's pretty good, pretty quick. It's not a long consuming thing. My take on it: 10 years, really. I mean, it sounds great. Some people are gonna believe in it. You know, you're seeing the different opinions online. Everybody's opinion I've read doesn't sound anything like mine from what I gathered from this. All this was just jargon thrown on a piece of paper, put in your face. It doesn't seem realistic to me at all. Especially tear down every building in the United States and make it efficient and whatnot. Okay, cool. Where are the workers at? They might want to get started, you know. So, I think this was just thrown out as a political deal to get people talking, keep her name relevant. Personally, to me, I'm not gonna judge. I mean, granted, I appreciate and like the fact that we've got somebody actually is new in a fresh blood, if you will, inside Congress, throwing ideas out there to try to get it moving. I mean, that's commendable. I'll give them that, but for me, this is just not even feasible. So, guys in the industry, you know, oil and gas, I think we're going to be okay for a while. I don't foresee this taking foot, but if it does, well, then we'll deal with it then. But looks like we'll all be going to construction working. Whatever, man. So that's my take on this Green New Deal. Interested to hear your comments, thoughts. Drop them below. I'll respond to them all as I can. And like I say, I'll link this in the box. And Talk to you guys soon.